Hey, what's up, guys? Gaming Fiends, and I got a guest with me here again today. This is part two of our last video. I got DergonFrost with me again. Basically, just going to be talking about World of Warcraft Legion. I feel there's a lot to talk about. It's kind of big news, a lot of excitement in the Warcraft community. So we're just going to kind of go down the page here and just go over some of the new features we're going to see.
I think there's a couple things. It's a Legion. What are they really gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, it's no big deal.
Exactly.
Sargeras.
Who's that guy?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of people who don't actually know, but he's the big bad, the biggest of bads, the one that no one's ever gonna get to kill because that would be kind of silly because there'd be nothing left.
Yeah, right. So what are we gonna start with first here?
We don't. I was thinking like, well, we could talk about the trailer, but no, we can just jump right into the Demon Hunter. Basically, we're just going right down the page to give everyone context what we're doing. We're just on the Legion page. Whatever we remember from the conference is whatever we remember, and just kind of got to go with what we have. So we can stalk our prey as the Demon Hunter, Mother of God.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm going to kick off this one. So Demon Hunter looks pretty sweet. I think my only issue is the metamorphosis thing. It's like warlocks could already do that. So it's like, okay, cool. I can do that with a different title over my head now. I mean, there's tons of cool stuff with Demon Hunter, and the bit we saw, like the double charging and all that stuff. Now it looks pretty fun. I mean, I'm probably still gonna play my Death Knight, but I'm definitely gonna dabble in the dark demonic arts, as it were.
Double jump.
Double jump. Oh yeah, that's gonna be
hashtag double jump.
Hashtag. That's gonna be some great stuff right there.
One thing that I thought was really cool is that you only get the option between being a night elf or a blood elf.
Oh, I didn't even notice that, which is perfect because those are my two favorite races in the game. Because I love elves. That's basically super side tangent for like 2 seconds. When I first started playing, I only wanted to play as elves, so I was like, oh, I'll play Alliance. And then once I heard Blood Elves came out, I mean, technically I played later, but Blood Elves was just like, all right, going Horde. Blood Elves are cooler.
Yeah, they got Blood Elves and Night Elves have pretty good lore.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're going to see, kind of a lot more in the new expansion, especially regarding the Night Elves.
Since it is just race specific, I'm definitely interested to see how that plays into it, because it kind of makes sense that not everyone can just become like, I can't see a goblin demon hunter.
Yeah.
I was corrupted by the dark arts of money.
Just imagine that for a second.
Yeah. Or I can see a gnome demon hunter technically, because Wilfred Fizzlebang and Lord Jaraxxus and all that stuff. So, but
Pandaren demon hunter.
Pandaren demon. he got in touch with the Shah too much.
A Pandaren with like these big ass horns, like
oh my god,
warglaives.
Yep. What else would be a silly demon hunter?
Pretty much a Tauren demon hunter.
Oh, yes. Yes.
They already have hooves.
Just like Tauren Rogues.
Yeah, Tauren Rogue, yeah.
Yep.
Tauren demon hunter.
Yep.
Although if Taurens could be demon hunters, I probably would play Tauren demon hunter.
Yeah, well, Tauren anything is like awesome because they get the biggest weapons, the biggest mounts, go big or go home. Like, I'm surprised I don't play one. I don't even know why I don't, to be honest. But
yeah, I like having just like big armor, like shoulders just look giant or whatever, like giant mount, whatever. My main's Tauren, I like Tauren. But anyway, back to demon hunters.
Oh yeah. Back to the point at hand when we said we were going to talk about Legion.
This video is going to be all about Tauren. Take a look at some of these sample abilities. Pretty awesome. You talked about metamorphosis there for a second. It kind of mirrors the warlock. They already have that exact. If you play demonology warlock, you have the exact same ability.
Yeah, that was a. I mean, I know it's one spec, and not everyone plays demonology because I hate demonology, but it's just one of those things. Like, it's technically already in the game.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess it might feel like we haven't seen all the abilities and everything like that yet, but it could feel a lot like a melee warlock or something,
Right.
That's
kind of what I expect.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's basically what it is in a lot of ways.
Yep.
As far as like the customization and stuff, I think it's really cool. Like, you see a lot of like the tattoos and then the horns. the different like masks or blindfolds, and then you got the different like I think you can do like scales on the skin a little bit and stuff like that. So
I'm definitely pumped to see the gear sets.
yeah, and are you gonna get to use warglaives maybe?
I know they have glaive, essentially glaive weapon. Probably not going to be like the warglaives of Asenath per se, but you
Yeah, something like
do.
that. Like
I think the main thing is just glaives in general, which is pretty sick.
yeah, that's awesome.
And then imagine going back and farm. Of course, everyone's going to go back and farm warglaives on their demon hunter, which I'm sure Blizz is going to update that demon hunters can wield them because they are right now class specific wield.
Yeah,
So,
or maybe they'll take them out of the game.
oh, you know what they're going to do. Illidan's coming back. They're gonna come back too, as in the warglaives.
Yeah.
Yep.
I already have them.
Oh, yeah, I already beat Illidan. I already farmed him.
Don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. I mean, I actually have him on my Death Knight too. It took balls ass forever, but
yeah,
I got him. And,
oh, yeah. Hey, Illidan, you got warglaives. Guess what? Me too.
Yeah, I know. And I got the Cursed Vision of Sargeras. Like, we're pretty much the same guy, Illidan. Let's stop playing with ourselves.
Yeah. So yeah, all right. Back on topic.
Yep.
Sample abilities.
Quick thing with the lore though, because
Yeah, sure.
Illidan in Burning Crusade, he held on to the skull of Gul'dan, right?
Exactly. Yeah, he did.
Gul'dan's the one that's freeing him now. So when Illidan wakes up,
exactly.
He's like, wait a minute, what the balls is happening?
Hey, what's that skull? Hey, what's that skull you got? Oh, that's you. I killed the other you.
I don't think Illidan killed him, did he? I mean, I know.
No, I don't. No, he didn't kill him. I don't.
He went to the Tomb of Sargeras, and something happened. Then he died, and Illidan somehow got the skull. That's all I know.
I think, and he absorbed the power of the skull or something like that.
Right, and then things happened, and then blah, and Demonic Pact, and things, and rah.
Yeah. So maybe the new Gul'dan will die again.
Maybe. I have no idea. If we've seen anything from Mob, like Garrosh died at the beginning of Warlords, I'm sure what's his face Gul'dan's going to die at the beginning of Legion.
Yeah, he's the end boss of the first raid.
Oh,
well, they've said that the first raid is Emerald Nightmare.
Yes, okay, that's right.
End boss Gul'dan.
I don't know why I didn't remember that. I was picturing like another cheesy cutscene death.
So that'll finally be like the final end of Warlords of Draenor. Like Gul'dan is dead,
Yay.
That's it.
Yay.
Yeah. Finally, yeah. All right. So these sample abilities for the Demon Hunter, the one that catches my eye, no pun intended, I guess, is Spectral Sight. But basically, you can see through walls, and you can see stealth and invisible targets. Is that just me, or is that just OP as hell? Like
that's completely broken. Like, don't ever bother logging onto your rogue ever again.
I think it's like a 2-minute cooldown. It doesn't say it here, but I think that's what I remember in the video.
Right. I wonder how long it lasts though.
I wouldn't say that long,
right.
But just if you're playing a rogue or a druid, all these demon hunters, like, you're kind of going to be at a disadvantage. That's going to be a problem.
Yeah. Unless they give some kind of counter, like to rogues where they are able to gain like extra stuff. Because I know if you vanish, you technically have some kind of advanced stealth for 2 seconds. Yeah. So they're gonna have to like do something else. They're gonna have to do something to buff up rogues. Because
I don't know how they're gonna balance that.
And I know someone's saying I know they're gonna have to do something to buff up rogues.
And obviously, like, seeing through walls is going to be extremely useful. Like, pretty much.
There's the flag carrier.
Yeah. I don't know to what degree that, like, how many walls you can see through, or if it's just one, or I have no idea.
Right.
I haven't actually seen what it looks like yet. But
I'm picturing Assassin's Creed, like with the vision.
Yeah, something like that.
Where you can just see see silhouettes of everybody through walls. I'm picturing that. If it's not that, then I don't know what you're doing, Blizz. It's like, have you ever played Assassin's Creed?
Like
that's pretty much how I picture it.
What do you think that would serve like any purpose in PvE? Like, what would that be?
I know. Probably in the starting zone for sure. Like, to be plainly obvious. But other than that, like, because nobody else can do it.
What boss is next?
Oh, I think I think there's probably going to be a thing just to make sure they have demon hunters in the raid group. There'll probably be some kind of mechanic in certain bosses where if you have it, it'll be a great boon, but if you don't have it, it's not going to kill you. But like, say the demon hunter activates the thing, and then he like leads the raid through like, say, some kind of maze or something. Like, hey, you need to walk this way, otherwise you're going to hit some kind of invisible magical barrier that's going to kill you. Even though what I just said before them, like, it probably will kill you, but regardless, you won't take so much damage if you follow me, because I can see all this mystical fire that you can't see or something like that.
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be like some the demon hunters see something that other players can't see. That's going to be
perfect example. Say a demon comes out, but an invisible demon, and it starts going towards like some DPS. Like the tank doesn't even know how to pick it up because it can't see it, unless it's like the demon hunter tank, and he like procs the thing, and then he sees the demon and he just like says, "Hey, Death Knight, death grip it over," or whatever, because I can see it. Here's where or he just like taunts it. So basically, I can see like invisible mobs playing a huge role with Spectral Sight,
or maybe like invisible like NPCs and I don't know.
Yep.
Stuff like that. Like only demon hunter can turn the quest into a quest giver with the sight thing or something. I don't know.
Demon hunters will now be able to go discover GM Island.
Yeah,
to be able to see through the world.
GM Island. Is that still there?
I have no idea. I've never tried going there. I've seen videos.
Yeah, I've never had the pleasure of actually getting to it.
I've seen a thing where it's a lot easier to go as a level, like the earliest level druid with healing, because
you can heal through the fatigue or something. Yeah,
something crazy like that.
Yeah.
But yep.
All right, so there's the mobility thing. It's basically just a dash.
And I like that they can vault in and out of combat. I'm really digging the out of combat, because that way you can just, I feel like you're gonna get questing done a lot faster and be like, I'm just gonna dash everywhere.
It's kind of like it's not like a warrior charge. It's like kind of like a monk like roll, like go in or like a engage or like a retreat, like.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
At first I thought, I'm like, oh my god, they can glide OP, but I'm like, wait, mages have slow fall.
Yeah.
Somebody else has another kind of slow fall thing, so it's not the worst. But it's overall, it's definitely very interesting looking.
Yeah, and I don't know if like it when you dash forward, does it like leave a trail of fire like as AOE or something?
If it doesn't, I'm sure there's a glyph.
Yeah.
just like warriors. Get the flame charge thing.
And so the only other ability on the page is Metamorphosis, and we already kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
But another ability I actually saw like on the live stream video is the eye beam. I think like.
Like the laser blast thing.
Yeah,
it's a laser blast. Like I love the dude. Like I'm laughing because the dude that was presenting, like, I'm gonna show you this ability, shows like 2-second clip. Like, yeah, that was the ability. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks, guy. You sure seem proud of that.
Yeah.
It's like a mage can cast a pyroblast, like you cast like a mini eye beam thing.
Yeah.
But the whole 2 spec thing is a rather interesting approach.
Definitely, yeah. So
I feel like they technically could have done that with Death Knights, but I'm glad they stuck with 3. But
yeah.
But I'm kind of glad they did this, because they made a really good point about not wanting to water down the class by having 3 different ones, because now they can just manage 2, just manage tank and manage 1 DPS. They don't have to balance like the 2 DPS specs and whatever. It's just all very easy to streamline.
Yeah, that's true. I really don't think I personally don't have a problem with it. I can see how some people might not be super happy about it. I mean, every other class has 3 specs, and if you're comparing it to a Death Knight, Unholy plays a lot different than Frost, in some cases. But I honestly don't have a problem with it, because just the balance issue in particular.
Or even like a warrior, because they have arms and then versus fury. But I mean, the big thing for that is you get to wield 2 freaking 2-handers.
Yeah.
I can't really see anything that would set the demon hunter apart. Like whatever thing they think of is like, okay, this one can wield. Maybe it'd be a thing where one is melee and one's ranged. Like if they decide, but then the same time you're just going back to warlock.
Yeah, yeah, it should just be like two different melee classes, but I really don't have a problem with just one.
Yeah.
As long as they can tank, because I think they should be able to tank.
Yeah, I mean, they do have the Vengeance tank spec, which I forget if they went into the details of how that works.
Yeah, I think basically it's. I think maybe that relies a little more on metamorphosis as being like a form to take on to like take less damage for vengeance and for DPS to metamorphosis form to like do more damage basically.
Right.
But vengeance, as far as like the actual playstyle, that's basically the only thing they said is that you could metamorphosize or whatever to like take less damage and stuff like that.
Right. And if you click on the learn more, the weapons they can wield are daggers, fist weapon, one-handed axes, one-handed maces, and one-handed swords.
So dual wield basically.
Yes.
Not a surprise.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, I like dual wield. That's cool. So I guess even a tank is gonna dual wield.
Even a tank is gonna do well. That's one thing I liked about DKs back in Lich Kings. I was a
Oh yeah.
dual frost tank for a while.
Yeah, you forget about that. That's so much different than it used to be.
Oh yeah.
But I thought that was kind of a cool concept, a dual wield
Bringing
tank.
it back. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Every weapon's a tank weapon now. Okay, so we beat demon hunters into the ground before they beat us into the ground. Now we have to move on to the topic of the hour, the one that's gonna, oh god,
Oh yeah.
the one that makes me question Legion as an expansion.
This was definitely a big announcement. This right here.
Artifact weapons.
Yeah. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I have a lot of feels, so I'm gonna go first. Otherwise, I'm gonna forget everything I want to talk about.
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead, man.
And you can have the next one for sure. So the pure fact that just let's begin with the fact that you're wielding an artifact. We're not even going to go into which ones just yet, but an artifact that's red text. That's something that everyone has been like, whoa, that would be like crazy, man. And I don't know, a general consensus I've heard from a lot of big time YouTube WoW players is they're just like, it would be cool, but at the same time, it would just not be special at all if they got to put red text weapons in the game. Like, it just shouldn't be a thing. Like, it should just be, something that is talked about and never actually done. And then they get ahead and do the worst thing imaginable and bring in the Ashbringer. So here I am picturing everyone logging on to their Paladin alt, day one of Legion, and I see at the first NPC 50 Paladins all wielding a freaking Ashbringer. And I'm just like,
Yep.
what is this world? I don't want to live in it anymore. It's like, you get an Ashbringer. I want Oprah Winfrey to come out and be like, you get an Ashbringer. You get an Ashbringer. Like, this is not how it's supposed to be. Like, Ashbringer is my favorite sword besides Frostmourne, and I would love to wield it more than anything. But I know I shouldn't because everyone else is going to get to do it too. It's like, it makes it not special. Just as a very quick comparison, this one I actually have ready. The Chevy Cruze, when it first came out, I know this is like way out of left field, but the Chevy Cruze when it first came out in like 2011, and I saw the car, it was like there was only like 5 on the road in my area ever. And I was like, dude, this car looks amazing compared to the other cars around. Like, oh my god, this is the car I want. I'm going to save up for this. Flash forward to now, every mother ever has a Chevy Cruze. And it's just like, oh, hey, look, you got a Chevy Cruze? Cool. It's kind of like, Bill's from down the street, except his is like green.
Well, I mean, just imagine like no one had it at all.
Yeah.
You'd only heard epic stories about it.
I saw one,
and then all
person,
of a sudden everybody's got the new car or whatever.
I saw one person with a corrupted Ashbringer on my server ever, and I was like, you are the champion of this server in my eyes. You are the person.
I've never seen it in the wild on my realm, but
yep.
Unless I go to a Crossroads one, I've seen it before, but no one on my realm has it.
I know Lore, Lore, who works for Blizzard now.
Oh yeah.
Yep, he has one.
Oh really?
Yeah. I forget when. I know he just like in a stream one time I saw him like, whoa, he has a corrupted Ashbringer. And back when they used to do their podcast, because I used to watch him do the legendary podcast on Game Breaker TV. Way back when, like way back in.
Yeah, I saw him in like the Blizzard Q&A video, but I didn't really know who he was until then.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been following him and some others for pretty much years. And
oh.
Yep. But But yeah, he had the corrupt Ashbringer, and I was just like, damn, that's so cool. But like, I'm so glad it's one of those unattainable things because it just makes it's one of those things like if you see people play it and you just want to get, like, you know, you can't get that thing, but you want to try to get the next coolest thing just so
Yeah.
you can still be kind of cool. But some things are better. My point is, some things are better left to be in Legend, and that's
Yeah.
it. And Ashbringer is one of them. Granted, that's just one of the artifacts. There's the Maw of the Damned. I have no idea what the hell that is. Like that's one thing. Like if it wasn't the Ashbringer, it could have been anything else. It could just been like some other really cool paladin thing. If it wasn't the Ashbringer,
Yeah.
it's the sword that broke Frostmourne.
Just think about all the other weapons that all the other classes are going to get. I mean, it's, is it really the equivalent of Ashbringer? Like,
Yeah,
not,
like
like
all
not,
I don't even know what these other ones are. Like
I think that is,
Fazderah,
I think that has made this crap up. Like,
Legacy of the Windrunners. Is this actually like Sylvanus' bow pre-corrupted Sylvanus? I take it. I imagine.
it looks like that Sunwell in the background.
Right. And then there's Shaylun, Staff of the Mists. I'm guessing that's just that didn't even become relevant until Mist Pandaria. So who cares about that?
I guess that's probably Mistweaver Monk.
Probably. Evanshill, Great Staff of Alodi, whatever. I have no idea what that is. And then there's Maw of the Damned, which is the Death Knight one. I'm guessing some famous Death Knight wields that, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Like Ashbury, it's the sword that broke Frostmourne. No
think
one should be able to wield this.
I think Death Knights get Frostmourne, like maybe not the literal.
No, it's
Frostmourne,
it's the Maw of the Damned.
But this is for Blood Death Knights. I think like the other specs get something different. I heard him talk about it in the live stream. A Frost Death Knight is going to go to the quest. The quest is going to be to go to Icecrown Citadel and get the shards of Frostmourne.
Shut up.
And make forged 2 rune blades out of it for Frost.
If they allow you to wield Frostmourne, I'll be excited, and then 2, I'll be like the same thing.
Yeah.
I'll be excited for 2 seconds, then I'm going to see 20 other Death Knights with it. And we got Shadowmourn from back in.
Yeah.
What's a majigger? That's place.
I don't know the lore behind Shadowmourn. It's like.
Oh, it was just like all ham-fisted into 3.3, where it's like, oh, this will be the thing to counter Frostmourne, but not really.
Yeah. There's only one Frostmourne.
Yeah. Shadowmourne was a thing where you got the axe, like the initial axe itself, by taking 25 Serenite and combining it with something else. Some other, like...
Oh, yeah, I thought that's what it was like. You had to get the bloods from the bosses, right? Like, you had to get, like, 2 bloods or something?
I think that
it was something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you had to get the bloods, and then you had to get 25 Serenite and something else, and then you were able to form whatever the heck that thing was called. It wasn't called Shadowmourne. It was like Shadow's Edge. I still have Shadow's Edge. I haven't actually turned it into Shadowmourne yet. But I got Shadow's Edge at the very end of the Wrath of the Lich King, because someone was like running 25-man ICC, and I'm like, hey, can I get the quest? I'm like, yeah, sure. It's like, oh, cool. So yeah, but going back to this, because this is supposed to be the Legion talk. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Maw of the Damned, I don't know what the hell that is, and if that's just for blood, that's kind of weird to me, but
I would think so, just looking at it, like, because every specialization of every class gets their own weapon, so
right.
that would probably be blood.
And Frost does specialize in dual wield, so I'm sure they'll get something. But this scythe looking thing looks kind of cool. But once again, like the point is, none of these other weapons even look like they don't they're not on legendary par with Ashbringer.
Maybe Doomhammer. I think Shaman's get Doomhammer. That's more in the right direction of.
Yeah, and once again, like that's freaking Thralls. Like, he's not gonna give that up.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna kill Thrall and loot him.
Right. I know, right?
Alliance player.
First we get the Alliance goes and kills Thrall, and Horde goes and kills Tyrion Fortree.
Yeah, I was like,
well, clearly that's how that works.
Get your own hammer, man. This is mine.
Pretty much. Yeah, I'm looking at this. Not so much cutscene, but if you scroll down to where it says the setting, explore the Broken Isles, one of the first things you see just a random blood elf wielding Ashbringer, And it's just like, oh,
Yeah, like who's this guy?
yeah, like
Who are you?
this guy's not worthy of it. It's like wielding the hammer of Thor. You know, you have to be worthy of it.
So who was the first guy to have Ashbringer? Was Alexandros Mograine? He was the
Oh,
first one?
shoot, I don't remember.
I think. Let me try to give some lore here that's probably completely untrue. Um, I think basically Magni Bronzebeard, he forged it, right? In Ironforge?
That's what I heard, yeah.
I think he gave it to Alexandros Mograine. You see him at the, if you play Death Knight in the Death Knight Beginning World or whatever.
Right,
And
okay.
you see his image. But basically, he wielded the Ashbringer. He killed a bunch of undead with it. This is just a summary, brief summary.
Yep.
I'm not getting into any details.
Yep.
And basically, he somehow, I think Kel'Thuzad maybe like corrupted him, and the Ashbringer became corrupted.
Right.
And so in the four horsemen encounter in the original Noxramas, he was the one who wielded it, and if you killed him, that's how you got it. That was how you got the original corrupted Ashbringer.
Right.
And then his son, Darian Mograine? I don't know. Took the Ashbringer. I don't know. No, that's not right. It ended up in Tyrion Fordring's hands somehow.
Yes, I am attempting to look it up right now.
But I think basically it started out as a shard, because if you go to Old Hillsbrad Foothills, there's actually a little like thing that plays like that references it.
Huh.
It's like it's Darian Mograine like with a shard.
Oh, wow.
He killed an warlock in battle. He got this like dark shard, but he figured out he could channel it would absorb the light.
Oh, you're talking about the instance Old Hills Red.
Yeah, and there's
I have
like
seen that.
There's tons of stuff in there. Like Kel'Thuzad is a human. Like,
I went through and I saw the Easter eggs. I love that place.
Yeah, it was awesome. Rumsy Rum too doesn't give you 15 stamina anymore.
I know that what I used to do is I go buy tons of that and just resell it on the auction. I actually made a fair bit of gold off of that because no one knew how to get it. It was great for twinks.
Yeah, definitely.
But I remember seeing that cutscene because they take the dark shard and there's like all these different paladins. They're infusing the light into it and eventually turn it into light. And I remember they were talking about like just like the origins of the names, like this will turn enemies into ash, and they're like, this should be called the Ashbringer. And then they're like, the Ashbringer. And I was like, whoa, this is freaking cool. But yep. Yeah, there's paragraphs on this thing, and I'm not gonna read them out live.
Was I on the right track at least? Like,
yeah, I think you definitely had it right. There's a Mograine in here, and Kel'Thuzad's doing stuff, and
like the part I was confused about is like after you kill him in the horseman encounter, like where does the Ashbringer go, and how does it become like uncorrupted or
right?
Like I don't know. That's the part I don't know.
I mean, this weapon's not even that good. Chance on hit, blast a target for 700 damage. Why would this be a thing, Blizz? Anything can replace that. That's what the original, no longer in the game Ashbringer, if it were to be in the game. Item level 76. Oh yeah.
There's actually this add-on. I made a video on it. You can cause your weapon to look like any weapon in the game.
Oh wow.
So it can you can wield Frostmourne or Ashbringer.
Huh.
But it's just a cosmetic, it's not.
Do other people get to see that, or is it just you?
It's just you, but
gotcha. I guess that's kind of cool, but
not really. It's not really useful in any way. But
hey guys, also, look at this thing that you can't see.
And I think you can even get banned for it.
Oh, I don't doubt it. It's like messing with some files there that Blizz probably does not want you to touch. Especially if you somehow learn to get that to show to other people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's just kind of my rant on it. What are your thoughts on artifacts, and specifically this artifact in particular?
Yeah, the Ashbringer in particular, that's just the one that caught my eye immediately. My opinion on it pretty much drastically changed as soon as I saw weapons like Ashbringer and Doomhammer, especially Ashbringer. I think it's a decent idea on paper, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do with it. I saw stuff like talent trees, within the weapon and stuff like that. Basically you can, and also depending on what you do, your weapon gains power, stuff like that. So your weapon's going to be gaining a bunch of power throughout the expansion, getting more powerful over time with your achievements and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I see the different images here of it looking different, but at the end of the day, it's still.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. I hope there's gonna be a lot more than like 3 skins for it.
Right.
But basically, yeah, I think that would be a good idea, like to change it up a little bit because everyone is gonna have this weapon, so you don't want it to all look the same. But at the same time, I think it's still gonna like pretty much look the same, and I don't think it really makes sense for everyone to like it's like whatever they're making you out to be like this great hero or whatever. You need to have the greatest weapon, but then you look around, everybody has it.
Yep. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Friggin' Blizz, why are you doing this? Ugh. Okay. So, when you first joined World of Warcraft, what did you feel like? Did you feel like a regular soldier, or did you feel like the guy that was going to save the world?
Yeah, like the grunt, like the peon.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
And where I'm going with this is, all the quest givers, up until later expansions, they kind of just treat you like, hey, I need you to go collect 10 bear asses.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah, I mean, you're just a guy. Like, that's the point. If I wanted to be the hero, I'd go play Skyrim. I am the Dragonborn.
You're like supposed to be like the guy.
Yeah, you are, or the girl,
or the girl, whatever.
Like, you are the person. You are the one person who is going to save us all. You are going to do whatever you do and mystically destroy whatever you're going to destroy to set free everyone who needs to be set free. Like, you are the person.
But that's a single player game, though.
Yes, exactly.
There's not you're not seeing all the other people that are like. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like everyone, like there's only one Ashbringer. One person gets it. Not every single paladin should.
Not everyone is Tyrion Fortree.
Yeah, like it's just it'll be interesting to see like the questions that actually go along with these and see like how you actually end up getting it. Is Tyrion Fortree gonna die, or I don't know.
I would be very sad. But
he's a huge character, and
yeah,
Thrall even more so probably. I don't think he's gonna die. I mean,
side note, I'm surprised Tyrion's not in Heroes of the Storm.
It's Uther, isn't? Is it Uther?
Yeah, it's Uther, and because I'm like, you mentioned Thrall, and I'm like, well, Thrall's in Heroes. He's big, so is Tyrion. Tyrion should be in Heroes of the Storm, but anyway.
Yeah.
Side tangent over. But yeah, I mean, like, I can see why Blizz is doing it, sort of, but
I think it's a step in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I don't need to be the guy, or I mean, I'm a guy, so I'm going to say that, but not to be taken the wrong way. But I don't want to be the person. I want to be part of a team. Like, I don't mind, leading the charge for Thrall. I don't need Thrall being like the one who's like, I'm standing behind you. You lead the charge, hero. I'm like, no, you lead the charge because you're the one that's actually doing it and stuff. And
yeah.
Like when Tyrion in ICC, like he's standing there at the entrance, like you're going in there on his behalf. You're not, you're not leading the charge for Tyrion. Like he's not behind you. I mean, technically he is because he just stands there the entire time. But
yeah. He just was like sitting there watching. Like
it's a raid that's going to be either 10 or 25 people or 20 on Mythic. It's going to be 20 people. We'll say like maximum difficulty. It's going to be 20 people. They're not 20 leaders. They're 20 parts of a team.
Right. Yeah.
They're not like 20 commanders of an army because that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
20 Ashbringers going to be swinging at Gul'dan. Like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, like I what was I going to say? But yeah, I guess Ashbringer in particular, being just the most iconic weapon, maybe in all the game. I don't know. There's probably other ones
besides Frostmourne.
Yeah, Frostmourne.
Yep.
But
those are the two I care about. I mean, some people like when Blizz took Frostmourne off the buy it in real life thing, where you can actually buy a physical Frostmourne to hang on your wall or whatever, and they decide, yeah, we're gonna stop making that. I was like, no, you can't. I don't have the money yet, Blizz. Don't do this.
Yeah, I think you can still get it like on eBay and stuff. I think I've seen them around.
Yeah, I just don't trust them. I don't trust them being the real thing because what if they're a knockoff? Like I wanted to buy it from Blizz, and I know I would get the authentic thing, and at a better price than like, yo, eBay's $600,000. I'm sure, but
like, do you remember how much it costs?
It was $450, and at the time I had no way to get that. Oh, I was so upset.
That's pretty steep, but
yeah,
it's pretty. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and oh god, but I forget where I was going with that. But I mean, yeah, I mean that's one of my favorite swords. Like they have Doomhammer. That's where I was going with it. Like they have the Doomhammer. I'm just like, if I buy that, I feel like I'm settling. It's like I'm buying this because I can't get Frostmourne.
Yeah.
That's all I'd feel.
Like, yeah, I don't like these weapons. Like have a place in the game. You know, it's just being these epic legendary weapons that you can't get.
Yeah.
And heroes like legendary lore characters basically wield these, and I guess their thoughts on you getting it is like you're sort of taking that character's place,
Right.
in a way. Like you're becoming, you know, the hero or whatever. Like you're the one who's like you're the best chance to beat the Legion, whatever. You get these weapons, but I'm not really. I mean, it makes sense in some ways, but I'm really not really buying it that much. I'm not really.
Yeah.
I don't completely agree with that. I mean, I will admit that I'm actually kind of excited about getting one of these weapons, you know, and actually wielding it. But yeah, I wouldn't. I don't really like that idea. You know, I've seen this weapon for so long, and I just thought about, you know, if they put this in the game, like just imagine what you would have to go through to actually get it. You know, like it would be the most legendary weapon that you could possibly ever get, and then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, first quest in the next expansion, you get Ashbringer. You know, everybody gets it.
I think it should have been Thunder Fury.
Yeah, like, but I don't know if they wanted to put like a weapons that are already in the game. Like,
Yeah, but everyone wants it. Everyone. I mean, hell, they could have even done a thing where they just because everyone wants to like bring back the old legendaries and make them worth something. They could have they could have done that, or I don't know. That brings about. You're right. That brings about its own kind of can of worms, but. I don't know. For an artifact, they could have just come out with something really cool. Make it.
yeah, it didn't have to be to this extent, but
Yeah.
I think the vibe that they're trying to go with is that you need the absolute greatest thing you can possibly get. It's the only way you're going to be able to beat the Legion.
Well, we crafted a Shadowmourne. Why can't we just craft something new?
Yeah,
Like we did it before.
Yeah, like
Like we've crafted these, like the rogue daggers, like all these things, like they didn't exist for other characters. Like we crafted these the Terragosa, like the staff, like all these things we've crafted them. So why, like out of left field, it's like here, have like the most legendary sword, when before it's like, oh, you know, there was backstory on all these things and quests and whatever.
And then it's like, and just they could make up a new story for a new weapon or something. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, or they could just give you like a rip off Ashbringer, like a Walmart Ashbringer or something.
Walmart.
But it doesn't have to be the real thing, you know. And like, just because all these other weapons, like I'm looking at like the Death Knight one, it's called Maw of the Damned. Like,
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. Like, what is that?
Exactly.
Like I'm playing a paladin, you know.
I feel like it's a big marketing move.
Yeah, definitely. And like, it just, I definitely would like, you know.
Not to mention, don't you feel a little bit cheated if you're not playing a paladin?
You know, I out of these weapons, you know, Ashbringer, you know, is in my opinion pretty much the undeniably like the best weapon. Like even if I'm playing a warrior or a death knight,
Yeah.
I'd still want Ashbringer. Like I don't care.
It's paladins are the only ones that are gonna get it.
Yeah, and I don't know what the warrior.
What kind of dicks are they?
Yeah.
Like here we are, like talking about this one sword this entire thing, and then I realize I'm like, wait a minute, there's so many other classes that aren't gonna get to wield this.
Not just that. Like if you're playing a protection paladin or a holy paladin, you don't even get it.
Exactly.
You got to be ret.
Yeah.
Watch them just like nerf ret.
No one wants to be ret.
They're just gonna like nerf ret like into the ground.
Yep.
So, yeah, like.
Oh my
But
God.
there's only like five on this page. So
the weapons, yeah.
I'm actually really interested in see what the other ones are going to be. I'm probably going to roll a warrior for this expansion, so I don't know what it would be. I was thinking it could be Gorehowl, maybe.
But they already have that in the game. You can get it out of Karazhan.
Yeah, I already got it actually.
Yep.
Speaking of Karazhan, hope they bring that back.
Oh God, yeah, that would be so fun. Well, I mean, you got I was gonna say it because what's his face? Come on, the mage dude. Khadgar, yeah, like he flew in. He pulled a Warcraft 3. He flew into Stormwind.
Exactly. Yes. I noticed it right away, dude. Like, wait, where have I seen this before?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, dude, is that Medivh? Are they bringing him back somehow? I'm like, oh, Khadgar. I'm like, oh, you just played into that hard.
Wait. 1 second. Like, what if? Are you ready for this?
Ooh.
What if Khadgar is Medivh in disguise?
Oh my God.
And he's the end boss of the new Karazhan.
You know what? Wouldn't even be surprised at this point. Nothing in the Warcraft universe surprises me anymore.
No. Well, this surprised me right here. These you get Ashbreeder for free.
And then Shia LaBeouf comes out of nowhere. He's like, just, you know, just do it.
Yeah. But yeah, like I kind of see where they're coming from with this. Like I kind of see where they're coming from, but I think it's kind of stupid. Like
yeah. We've beaten this to death. I'm sure there are some viewers who are just like, all right,
yeah,
please move on.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I might still have some stuff to say about it, but yeah, I think it's time to move on.
Yeah, we'll give this discussion a break, and if there are points we want to make later, we'll make them again. But we're definitely we're making circles, and I mean it's one of those things where like it's a strong feeling that's bound to happen. But I know if I was watching, I'd be like, come on, guys.
Yeah, shut up. Like next thing, come on. I guess we could put links like in the description for
you mean like timestamps?
Different segments, yeah.
Timestamps, yeah. I'll do like if you get tired of this, here's the timestamp. I'll try to remember exactly when that is. Yeah. It's like we're 30-minute marks when we kind of start talking about it. So the next thing is the Broken Isles, and to be honest, even though I was expecting a new zone, like I was just kind of like, where is this?
Yeah, like I feel like it was never really. It's never been established like in World of Warcraft, like in the game.
Yeah.
I think in Warcraft 3, I didn't play Warcraft 3, but I think you get a glimpse of it there.
Oh, really? I've only played the up until after Arthas. I finished Arthas' campaign, then I was done.
Where is the Tomb of Sargeras located? Do you know?
Oh, the F if I know.
I think it's like Suramar or something was in Warcraft 3. I don't know if the Tomb of Sargeras is there. I mean, this is one of the things where like the viewers like, oh my god, how do you not know this? Like,
yep. Yeah, I've been meaning to go. What I'm gonna do, because WoWcrender actually did a Let's Play on Warcraft 3, and I'm not a huge. I'm bad at RTSs, so I don't want to take the time. Plus, I got a new computer. I'd have to redo all of it again. It's like I don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna go watch. I've been saying this for a year. I'm gonna go back and watch his Let's Play and get some lore.
Yeah.
I need some of that in my life,
especially for this new expansion, because I think there's going to be a lot of it.
And whatever new book comes out, I'll probably read that. I bought War Crimes, which was the Garrosh book, and I never finished it. But I finished the Shattering. I finished the one before Miss Pandaria. Like I finished those books, and I went back and read through Storm Rage and I think maybe one other, and they're all good.
Yeah, it's like so much. There's so much of this awesome stuff, but a lot of it's not really even, in the game itself. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's unfortunate, but at the same time, like there's so much. Like how could they pack it into?
Like, yeah, there's like
more daily quests. Yeah,
like the Broken Isles. Like I didn't know this was there. Like
right.
No one ever mentioned this before. There's just like this. I guess it's like sort of in the middle. I guess.
I'm like, did they create another outlet?
Yeah.
That was my first thought, because I know when they talked about it, I don't know what I was doing, but I just kind of like half heard the conversation. I think I was like cleaning my apartment at the same time.
I'm really glad we're going back to Azeroth, though.
Yeah.
I think that's like I kind of missed it, I must say.
Yep.
And Pandaria didn't really feel like Azeroth.
Honestly, yeah, it honestly just felt like China. And it's like not even to not like I love ancient Chinese stuff, like ancient anything. It's kind of my jam. But here's the thing: it did not feel World of Warcraft like the entire.
It really didn't. But I would say that it was a nice change of pace.
It was a great place at first. Yeah, like I loved the initial level. Like,
the art styles and everything. I think I'm sure they put a lot of work into that, and it was completely different than anything we'd seen before. So I think I was kind of like a fresh new view of the game, but it was kind of hard to take seriously.
Yep.
With the it's pandas. Like, come on. Like first time I saw this, I was like, "This, you gotta be kidding me!" Like, this is the next expansion. But
yeah.
I enjoyed it.
No, I liked it for the most part, and then by the end, because I think the only thing that I really didn't like about Miss Pandaria was all the reused, kind of like Dragon Soul. They reused a lot of places. Yeah. Like half of Siege of Orgrimmar was all familiar if you played Horde.
Yeah.
And by the time you get into it, it's just kind of like it's all very similar environments. You're fighting a lot of mostly orcs.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I burned out really quick on the Siege of Orgrimmar raid versus
Me too,
Throne of Thunder, which was
and really, just that
really
whole like patch was just awesome.
Yeah.
Like just the island, like where you're doing all the quests and stuff. Like I had a lot of fun doing that actually.
Yeah, I love.
Raid
Thunder.
aside, like just the other stuff was really fun. I thought.
I kind of wish I was there, like way back in BC for Isle of Quel'Danas, because just the theme, like it being a Blood Elf island,
Yeah,
I would have loved. I would have loved to do that.
yeah,
Like
it was like really cool.
at
Like
level, I would have loved to experience that.
yeah, brings back some good memories. Like as far as this like new zone, let's talk about the new zone.
Yep.
There's gonna be the old zones are good too. So it looks like there's gonna like I'm counting them here. One, two, three, four, five, six. There's six, but the Broken Shore looks kind of small.
Right.
I think that's gonna be maybe like Tanan was, like the beginning zone, like when you first go there.
I'm trying to think, because I always try to analyze the maps and like, okay, this is gonna be the starting zone. And then Draenor threw me off because I thought, just looking at the map, I thought Frostfire Ridge is gonna be one of the ending zones. I'm like, oh, I didn't expect this to be the starting zone.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what to expect on this map.
Either.
I think Stormheim was supposed to be one of the starting ones, at least for the Alliance side, maybe.
Maybe,
I
yeah.
have no idea.
That's like the Vicrul, or is that what they're called? The Vicrul?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The
Vrykul. Yeah.
Vrykul. Something.
And
They're
something
cool.
about Helheim. Helheim. I don't know what that is, but I heard something about that.
Yep. And then there's like the ones that ascend, and then the ones that descend, and
Yeah,
all that stuff.
that looked really cool. Kind of like reminiscent of the Northrend stuff, like
Nope.
Howling Fjord.
Yep.
Maybe like I thought that was really cool.
Note to self: take better notes before podcast.
Yeah,
It's like I'm looking at all this stuff. I'm like, all I have on this page is no information at all, other than a paragraph for
yeah.
these new zones. I thought there was going to be more, but
So, I know. So I know like because I watched the live stream pretty much all of it, so I know the basics of most of these places.
yeah,
But like High Mountain, there's going to be like Tauren. I think that would probably be a higher level zone. Maybe not an in-game zone, but there's like the Tauren there with the
no,
little...
they're going to completely troll you. High Mountain is going to be low level.
But high is in the name.
I know.
But
That's where they get you.
yeah.
You didn't look at the fine print in the terms of service.
But I think Suramar is like a night elf place. Like,
Okay.
let me try to go into the lore a little bit again. I'm not good at it at all, but I think it's like basically these are where there's a race of elves like that are here. They're not night elves. They're not blood elves. I don't know. I don't think they're high elves either. I think they're just a race of elves that lives here, but basically they've been corrupted by the Burning Legion. And the raid is going to be there kind of based off that. It's like a Burning Legion raid, but it's less towards like orcish stuff and more towards like an elvish city. Like
So it's kind of like Ashara, who she was all corrupted by. No, that's not her name, is it? Ashara. I'm trying to think of the one.
She's like the Naga. Night elf that became the Naga. Is that what you think?
Yeah, no, it's not Ashara. Who the heck is it?
Tyrande?
No. The chick that you fight but you don't kill in the ending Cataclysm dungeon where you go back in time. You're at the Well of Eternity.
Jaina Proudmoore, Sylvanas. Is that what you're thinking of?
Nope. Not that instance. It's the second one. Or is it? No, it's the third one. It's the one where you go and you meet old school Illidan and old school.
Yeah. Well of Eternity.
Yeah, Well of Eternity. Like you go back 10,000 years, and the second boss. I'm trying to remember who it is. You don't kill her, but she's a major player in the Warcraft lore.
That's Queen Ashara. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's Queen Ashara, but she's not a Naga yet. That's her before she's a Naga, because the old gods corrupt her and turn her into like a Naga.
Here's how stupid I am. I didn't know. Guess she got turned into a Naga.
Yeah. I don't know the lore behind that, but so when we're fighting her on
connection, I thought that was a completely different Ashar.
Well, we're on the Broken Isles. I think that's like who we're gonna be fighting. Yeah, you didn't know that like all the night elves are Naga. Became like Naga are night elves.
Oh well, hey, that's a thing.
Like they became like they made a pact with the old gods, and the night elves became Naga.
Oh well.
By the way, the first time I actually found out about that recently, and it blew my mind. Like I was like, what? Wait, what?
I'm not surprised. It seems like elves came from, or everything came from elves these days.
Yeah.
I think trolls came from elves too, or elves came from trolls, or trolls came from elves, or something.
They both got the ears like going on.
right? Clearly, they got to be related.
Yeah.
I think trolls actually predate elves,
Yeah.
according to the official timeline.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if we're going to be seeing any. I don't think we're going to be seeing trolls in this expansion, but I think there's actually a storyline there that needs to, like, as far as Vol'jin being
Right.
in War Chief. There's probably some storyline to be wrapped up there at some point with the other troll tribes and Vol'jin and with the Horde and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's, open it as story in World of Warcraft? No way.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's stuff from every expansion that needs to be wrapped up in some fashion.
Yeah.
I know in Cataclysm they never wrapped up the water zone, technically.
Ozumat and Neptulon.
Yep. Yeah, that never got wrapped up. There was supposed to be a raid and then it got canceled for fire.
I don't think it's. I don't. Yeah, I don't even think it's going to be wrapped up in this expansion.
It'll probably never be wrapped up.
No.
Neptune just,
I don't think.
Do
Do you know the? I mean, I've heard that hasn't been wrapped up, but I didn't even know what the storyline was. I mean, that's kind of off topic, but if you could go over.
I didn't even do the zone. Like I did 5 quests in the zone. I was just like, this is too unbearable, and I went straight to Highjaw.
Like yeah, Vashir, I'll say as a questing zone, I really didn't enjoy it that much, but as an actual, just like, as far as like the actual like just swimming around it, pretty awesome. Like
the mechanics they did were interesting, and then when you got the mount, it became bearable.
Yeah, I didn't really like the 3D fighting, like 3D hitbox or whatever, and
Yeah.
I didn't really. I found it like kind of an inconvenience, like swimming around and stuff. But if you just go swimming around there for fun, I was there actually the other day, just kind of. I was getting the whale shark achievement.
Oh god.
And like, but it was just really cool. Like, they just put so much work into it. It was kind of a shame that it didn't really work out.
Yeah. Who knows? So as we scroll down here past the world, since I don't have tons of information on that, kind of goes through the NPCs that are going to be major players like Maya, Shadow Song, Xavius. I don't even know who Xavius is.
He has something to do with the satyrs. I think he's like leader of the satyrs or something.
Okay.
Something like that. He's going to be in the Emerald Nightmare raid. Just ties to that.
That makes sense. And of course, Anduin. Yeah, that's just all the major dudes. Illidan reskin looks pretty good. He's looking pretty classy these days.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I guess they really didn't go into detail about whether or not he's going to be good or bad. But I think it'll be interesting to see.
I know he's that villain that everyone was just like, Illidan, we feel you, man. You're just going about this the wrong way.
Yeah, like he's bad, but he's not like completely evil. You know, like,
he wanted to make the world better, but he just kind of went about it the most effed up way.
Yeah. And then I don't see Malfurion on here, but I would almost certain way to see him at some point. You know.
Maybe. Spoiler alert: he dies too, I guess. Everybody not on here's dead. Like every NPC that's just not on this list, dead.
Yeah.
That random merchant in Orgrimmar.
The Burning Legion killed everybody except these guys.
Yep. And then eventually they'll kill them too. So.
It's interesting to see this Worgen looking guy.
Again?
Yeah, are they going to do something with Gilneas?
That'd be nice because they kind of just left that to be a thing.
Yeah, like that zone really doesn't serve any sort of purpose besides the Worgen starting zone.
Yeah, I remember actually just like flying over there. I was just like, oh, there's literally nothing here. This isn't even like a...
But like the art style is like, yeah, it's different than pretty much everything else.
Like they went steampunk, starting zone, werewolves, and then that's it.
Yeah. But yeah, like these are some, I guess these lore characters are kind of cool. I don't really know who some of these guys are.
Yeah, I don't know who Dargol is. I don't know really a whole lot about Gan outside of what we were introduced to. And then there's the Tide Mistress, and it's just like, I don't know who that is. I'm sure there's plenty of people who know all about it. But
yeah,
not really a whole lot to say, I guess, about them.
But I think it's good that they're like bringing back like old characters and they're like, you know, kind of continuing the storyline of current characters or whatever, you know, like there's some of these might be new characters completely, I don't know. But it's cool to see these older lore characters.
Yeah. I mean that's another thing that Warlords definitely did with the setup for Legion was like they
didn't go about it in the best way.
What do you mean?
like I didn't really like like it was cool that we were introduced to these characters, but like like some of them I feel like weren't really didn't really get like didn't I don't know how to say this, but it was a little unexciting, I guess. Like whatever, like Nerzul was like the end boss of like a dungeon, like just easy to kill. Like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
like Kargath was the first boss for Heimal in the arena. Like I didn't really
Right. Well, I guess on Mythic he didn't actually die.
really.
Yeah. I don't know what happens, but in Mythic you actually get a completely different story.
I thought that was like a bug or something that when he didn't die, like
No, like
uh,
they actually changed the story.
is it
Apparently, I
there's
don't know how it ends.
is there like a different cinematic?
Um, I think you'd probably have to just like you look it up on YouTube or Google it or
Yeah.
something. But yeah, apparently it's intentionally different that on Mythic. He lives through the fight,
Oh
which I
wow.
find very interesting, and it
Yeah.
might be even the same thing on other Mythic fights too. So, which
Oh,
kind of reminds me back in the Halo days, like for Xbox, you get the legendary ending if you beat it on legendary, for example, like on
yeah,
Halo
yeah,
3.
yeah.
So it's probably something akin to that. But I guess the point I was making with Lord Warlords, now I'm looking at this list, I'm like, well, really the only person you really get introduced to is Kagdar
Right, yeah.
and Gul'dan, if you didn't know a whole lot about him, which, well, I guess not really many people would, because he was dead. He was
Yeah.
a skull.
Right.
Uh,
And yeah. So I guess Maya of Shadow Song is like the warden for like the prison for the demon hunters and Illidan
Here's
and
the
stuff.
thing: I've always wanted to like play as a wardens. Like their outfits are cool, their attacks are freaking awesome. The glaives they use or whatever the heck they are freaking awesome. It's like, oh, I wish I could play as a warden.
Yeah, that actually would be pretty cool. I never really considered it as a class, but like that has some potential. Like,
There's this one move that she does when you end up doing some kind of quest with her. I forget when, but like at some point in one of the expansions, you're doing some kind of leveling quest or daily quest, and she goes along with you to help you attack. And she does this one ability. It looks like it would be a rogue move, but I have no idea what it is. But the sound effect is like this little demonic-esque cackle. It's like really high pitched, but it sounds really cool. And I'm like, this should be on a rogue. Like, I would love to do this to somebody, and like as I'm killing them, like you just hear this like little like cackly thing. Like it's much higher pitched than that. I'm not even gonna try it because
yeah, okay.
Lord knows what would happen. And it's just like it's like half a second long, and it's just like, oh my god, it sounds. Yeah, you'd have to hear it to know, but
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. I want to. I really want to see this.
I don't even know where to find it, but I'm sure somebody is going to leave a comment on that. Right. Engage the comment section. But
Comments.
like, comment, subscribe. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's my thought piece on the wardens. But
Right.
I had a question for you.
Sure.
It looks like
No.
they well, that's my answer. It wasn't even a yes or no question. I don't know if class-specific halls are going to be replacing player housing, but
I think they probably are
I hope so.
because I heard something about like the follower system.
Yeah,
It's going to be new. It's going to be improved dramatically. It's going to be completely different, but I think it's going to take place through the class order halls.
right. Instead of them playing the game for you, they actually help you unlock stuff.
Yeah, something like that. And I don't like player housing has been like a thing, like an idea for a really long time before it was even in the form of garrisons.
Yep.
Like player housing, like in Orgrimmar, Stormwind, stuff like that. I think
Yeah.
that'd be really cool. I don't know if you remember that blue portal that used to be in Stormwind. It was pre-Cataclysm. It was like this blue portal, and there's like a giant fence in front of it. I don't know if you-
yes, I do remember that.
that was designed to be a portal later on for player housing
Really,
in Stormwind. Yeah.
I heard it was supposed to go to Old Ironforge.
No, it was for a player housing district in Stormwind,
Interesting.
but it never really made it into the game. So
Kind of like I did a little sneaky, and I watched your first video about going into old school, or like how Nax is still there.
yeah, I made a few videos like that, just messing around.
Yep, that was freaking sweet. I never even knew that you could still get there.
Yeah, that was really cool. I watched another video about it. I think I didn't find it myself, but yeah, I did a couple videos like that, and it was really cool to see like what that little place is over there because it's called Quel'Thalas, I think, but to see what they're probably going to do something with it in the future,
Hmm.
like Mount Hyjal, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
So
but yeah,
viewer, go ahead and check that video out on my channel.
yeah, do it. It's pretty fun. I had fun watching it.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, heading back to it, like the order halls, I think it's pretty cool.
yeah, I think it's cool. They're going to focus more on class identity, which I think is important.
Right.
Like just really getting, like your class, like what it's like. I don't know, like its place, sort of, I
Well,
guess.
it's like
But,
Death Knight's got to do it in Wrath of the Lich King.
and they compared it to Death Knight's, I don't know, Archerus hold,
Yeah, I think it's like
the
Arceus Hold or something.
Eben holds, whatever.
Yeah.
Archerus the Eben hold. I'll try
Yeah.
that. But
They pronounced Arceus.
Arceus hold, but basically like I don't know if they made a lot of comparisons to that.
Yeah.
I think it would kind of suck for Death Knights if it was the same place, you know? Like,
It's like, yeah, you guys just go back and do your Death Case.
yeah, like,
Oh, that'd be such a dick move.
yeah, that would be hilarious. But
It's like, hey, we improved the textures by like 5%. Here you go, Death Knights, just like you've always wanted.
yeah,
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious and yet very infuriating.
yeah. Just look on the forums, like. But yeah, that'd be really funny. I don't know what they're gonna do for Death Knights.
All right.
I saw
Yes.
the Warlock one was like its own little planet or something.
Oh, nice.
The Paladin one is gonna be under Lights Up Chapel,
Yep, I do remember hearing that.
and I think those were the only ones that they really touched on. But I'm not.
The Hunter one is actually very unique because in order to get to that one, you have to Alt F4.
Yeah,
And that's how you get to the Hunter one.
yeah. That's the only way. Yeah, that's got. I admit that like that has gotten me before. Okay, like
I did that once too. Oh my god, it was in the middle of a raid, no less. Like someone, it was a pug, and someone was like I forget, like I was just like, how do I do this? And he was like, oh, Alt F4. I'm like, oh, okay. So, and it was I don't know if I mentioned this, it was a pug raid, not like a guild raid. So I Alt F4. I obviously, well, that Alt F4, game closes out. I was like freaking. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna kick me. They're gonna kick me. So I log back in. I'm like, sorry, I DC'd. I tried to play it off, and I was just like, yeah, I DC'd.
Yeah.
I still got to raid. So either.
I don't. Do you remember that? Do you remember that thing like in Battleground, like where people would whisper you or something? They'd be like, "You're."
I still have a macro for that.
Yeah, that's gotten to me before too. I was so pissed off. Like it took me a minute to realize, like, what happened? Like,
I actually have a really hilarious story for that one too, and it's really quick.
sure.
So we were doing that, and I had two of my friends in there. Ironically, the same two friends that that we all formed the gnomes, the ganking gnomes.
Oh yeah.
From the last episode that you should go and watch if you haven't already watched of this podcast, part 1, where we don't talk about Legion. So we did that, and I do the macro, and because it's just a /E, so it makes it look like everyone, it's not talking to any specific person. It just makes it look like someone told you you're AFK. So one of my friends, not realizing that it was me, and not realizing that it was a troll macro, he did that. And then he logged back in, and then me and my other friend just like sat there for 10 minutes just laughing. Like, you're such an idiot. You've actually fell for that. Oh.
Yeah. But like I could see how like it would be useful, like if there's someone in the battleground that's like, under geared or something, like
Oh yeah.
Like get someone.
I've gotten some nasty whispers off of it.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, that was some good times. I'm trying to think if there's any other like fun macro-y things, not that I knew of, or that worked. But let's see.
Yeah, that was the main one that I remember. Like,
right.
Actually, like worked on me, and I was like just really angry about it. Like, I knew immediately what had happened, and I was just like so angry, like just rage quit.
Right.
Um, that's the only one I can think of at the moment.
Oh, this one's for you. I need you to talk about the revamped PvP progression system.
Oh, is this on the page or just?
They don't really have any information about it. It's just about whatever they talk. Why don't they have that on the
Oh,
page?
they should. That's a big deal, actually.
God,
Yeah, they should put that on there.
freaking Blizz! It's just a bullet point.
Blizzard, if you're watching this video,
Yeah,
put it on the page. All right.
we know you're watching. We know
I
you're
think
watching right now. You're hacking.
Yeah, yeah. You must have just forgot. You know, I know you
It's
didn't
true.
do it on purpose. Just fix it. Okay. So yeah, the PvP honor system. That's something that I was really interested in, because I play PvP a lot. Basically, in the developer presentation or the Twitch TV live stream or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
Anyway, they went over it. It's really something that needs to be done. So basically, they talked about the original system and vanilla basically, and I really like that system. It was like you could have honorable kills, you could have dishonorable kills, and the amount of honorable kills you had determined like your rank. Like,
Yeah,
and
I remember they were talking about people logging for like days and have their friends log in. It's like, oh damn, I didn't know that.
to have like to be the top rank or whatever was incredibly competitive. And that was cool, but that's sort of the old world sort of stuff. And they need new stuff. So the system that we currently have in Warlords of Draenor, it's basically you have honor points and conquest points. You buy gear like that. No big deal. That was implemented in Burning Crusade, and it hasn't changed since then. So I think it's definitely time for a new one. And this one looks pretty promising. So basically, the gist of it is that gear really isn't as much of a factor as it used to be.
Right.
And there's like you level up through PvP basically, and you can get up to level 50. I don't know if you saw it. It's like it looks like kind of like
Call
a
of
talent
Duty.
page.
Call of
Yeah,
Duty,
Call of
and my
Duty,
World
yeah,
of Warcrafts. Oh my god, there's so many memes and videos I want to make about this. It's not even funny.
And it is so similar. Like it is exactly the same.
Well, if you remember, it is Activision Blizzard.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I'll admit that I played a little bit of Call of Duty before. Not necessarily proud of that, but I have played it before.
I'm just really bad at shooters, and thus I've only ever played Halo.
I don't really. Yeah, I played Halo actually. I used to have Xbox, but I'm not a huge fan of first-person shooters.
Although I never liked Call of Duty because it was always real world, and nowadays it's actually starting to stem off from like futuristic stuff that I can kind of get behind. Like Advanced Warfare is the only Call of Duty that actually looks fun, and I still haven't played it.
I like Black Ops because of the zombies. Like that's my favorite.
That's what I hear. I just overall I'm not a zombie person, so it never appealed to me.
Yeah.
Like I watch Walking Dead a little bit, but it's just like
I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of that show.
Yeah.
But I watch it sometimes. But back to the PvP system.
Oh yeah. I think I actually somehow missed the point of the prestige, like how it works. So I have no idea what the point of prestiging actually does.
So yeah, let me go over that for a second. So yeah, you level up through the system, right? The max level is level 50. As you level up, you unlock new abilities and stuff like. You probably already know this. You unlock new abilities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That only pertain to PvP. So,
yes. Finally.
So some of these abilities, like the trinket.
Yep.
That you can cough human racial. you can unlock insignia of the Horde, insignia of the Alliance. You can unlock it through the PvP thing. It's not an actual trinket you use anymore. Yeah. So just good stuff like that. I think these are a lot like really good improvements. And so as you level up, you can only use these in PvP.
Yep.
Some of these are variations on the abilities that you already have.
I wonder how that's going to affect world PvP. Unless they just don't apply.
I really don't know, actually. That's a good question.
Unless it's just one of those things like suddenly engages, like someone hits you and your action bar just changes.
Yeah.
Entered PvP mode.
There's probably going to be something like that. I have no idea.
Yeah,
that's a good question. I don't know how they're going to handle that.
My guess is they just don't implement it for world PvP and just save themselves the hassle.
Yeah, probably.
Because they've tried to make world PvP a thing so much, and I wanted it to be a thing so much too, but it's just.
Yeah, I like, the best class for world PvP is Rogue.
Oh yeah, hands down.
I love playing Rogue. And world PvP, it's so much fun. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what they're going to do for that in PvP. World PvP.
Yep.
but that'd be interesting. My guess would be just it doesn't apply at all, like you said. The other like question I'd kind of have about it, which I don't know the answer to, would be like, as far as the gear goes, like if are you going to be using questing gear? Are you going to be using raiding gear? How is that going to change? Is it going to scale? And I would imagine that everyone would basically, no matter what gear you go into the like battleground or whatever it is, wearing, that it's just going to be scaled to the exact same. So, if you're playing like a Ret Paladin and you have the Ashbringer, then you're going to have the same health pool as another Ret Paladin with the Ashbringer. But another thing is your artifact weapon is actually going to scale, is going to get more powerful and stuff like that. So is that going to be applied in PvP and stuff like that? I really don't know.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see where they go with that whole thing. I do like the whole leveling the playing field for gear, because I know going in there and being just the casual PvPer, like I barely touch battlegrounds. I never do arenas because I just it's so frustrating. Like the pressure, especially the pressure of arenas alone, is what always kept me out of them. Like I don't want to be the person to screw up my team.
It takes a lot of practice, and it's difficult.
And there's nothing more infuriating than almost getting the kill and then they come back and then they kill you, and it's just like
I hate playing against healers, like because you almost win and then all their health is back. Like
and they can just out heal you for days and it just becomes a joke.
Yeah, it's I don't really, I like battlegrounds a lot more than I like arenas.
Yeah.
Just because of the objectives, it's just not a team deathmatch. You got a lot of objectives.
There's objectives, and I can just I feel like I'm contributing even if I just throw in like an AOE, or if I'm just specifically going out of my way to lock down a healer, or just something like I'm not being focused down all the time because I'm the only person there that hasn't died yet.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've been playing battlegrounds for forever. Like that's probably my favorite form of PvP.
I actually like a lot of battlegrounds not at max level.
Yeah, I agree. And some battlegrounds I don't really like. I don't really like Isle of Conquest.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so hectic and no one knows what to do.
And apparently, Horde side of Alterac Valley never wins.
I think part of the reason for that is like the layout. Like I think
they changed it back in Burning Crusade. Apparently,
I thought the Alliance was like systematically at an advantage somehow. Did they fixed it?
I don't think I think it was a thing where when it first came out, Alliance complained apparently so much that Blizzard changed Alterac Valley physically to the point where the only way the Horde can really get over to the Alliance place is if they go on this bottleneck of a bridge. But if the Alliance players cross over to the other side, there's no bottleneck for them. So essentially it's multiple entrances to the main fortress versus one. So they could easily defend off like an entire army if they have their entire army there too.
Right.
And have, a few select people go and try to take back stuff. So it's fundamentally, essentially, like it's one of those things where the only way Horde can really win is if they kill all the Alliance reinforcements.
That would explain it.
Or if they're just really lucky and no one knows what they're doing on the Alliance side. But I was actually considering rolling an Alliance tune just to win Alterac Valley. Yeah,
I actually enjoy Alterac Valley, but Horde doesn't usually win it. But it's just really cool since it's still 40 versus 40, I think. But
yeah. And I just wish I was there for like days of like, oh yeah, log in the morning, it's still going on at night. Like that's once again, that was what Ashran was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Allegedly. But
yeah, Ashran had a lot of potential, but I guess that's.
Oh, did they ever talk about having anything like a Tolbarad or the Winter Grasp? Did they talk about that at all? Were they going to introduce anything like that again?
They haven't brought it up yet. I would imagine there'd be something similar to it. I think Ashran just left a sour taste in everybody's mouth, though. So I think they'd probably be pretty careful before. Like I think Winter Grasp had tons of problems. Simply just because the lag, just so many people were zoned in at a time that the servers couldn't really support it.
Well, I mean, that was also because it was back in like 2008.
Yeah.
Server technology, especially with phasing and all that's come such a long way that wouldn't even be an issue. I know one of the big problems was the Alliance, at least like where I played, the Alliance never had enough people, so they had giant stacks of tenacity, but even then, like, you just had so many Horde players that, even 20 stacks of tenacity meant nothing.
Yeah.
Like, what's enough people getting tiny? But it was kind of fun. Like, you go around just one-shotting, like, a ton of people.
Yeah, I played Winter Grasp a lot. And also, it was kind of interesting, Ashran's 24/7, whatever, but Wintergrass was every 3 hours, and Tolbarad was too, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Yep,
yeah,
I remember
those
that.
just those world PvP zones. I think that's a really good idea. So hopefully they do something with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Or make some kind of just they need to properly figure out how to incentivize world PvP so that it can happen more naturally, I suppose.
Yeah, it's just a good alternative to just like battlegrounds and arenas and stuff. Just
Yeah.
and I personally I'm more of a PvP player, but most of my characters are on a PvE realm.
Right.
Just because when I first started playing, I'm on Anvilmar, terrible realm by the way. If you're a Horde player, it's an Alliance PvE realm, but all my Horde PvP characters are on it because that's the first one.
Yep.
When I first started playing, that's the first one I clicked on. But
Right.
like it's just a good alternative to have, like, because World PvP is a lot of fun, and Warlords of Draenor. I don't know if this is really kind of got buried. Like a lot of people don't even remember this, but there's like the Colosseum thing in Warlords of Draenor.
What do you mean?
Have you been to that? It's like at the entrance of Heimwall, there's an NPC, or if you have a Gladiator Sanctum, there's an NPC, and you talk to him and you queue. It's like a scenario, and it's called the arena, or not the arena, but like
Colosseum.
the Colosseum. Yeah, the Colosseum. And you would basically go in like on an elevator. In the very beginning of Heimwall,
Yeah.
when you're on the elevator and you go up to the ring, it's
Nice.
just like that, except it's all the players are fighting everyone in the ring, and the last one standing gets like this box, like like Gurubashi Arena or something like that. Yeah, like that.
I did not know about that.
And I tried to queue for it the other day. It was like hours long or something, so like no one does it anymore.
Right.
But that was actually kind of a cool PvP feature in Warlords of Draenor. And
Yeah,
a
I
lot
know
of people
go
didn't even
nuts
know about it.
over Gurubashi type things.
Yeah, I have a lot of I did that for a long time to get those Arena Master trinkets.
There's also the one on the Dark Moon Fair.
Oh yeah, what's the trinket for that? Is that
Oh, I don't remember.
I think you have to get, it's the same thing. You have to get like 12 of them or something, and then you get the trinket or something. I don't know, but that's also pretty cool.
We went off topic again.
We were way off topic. Let me talk about, since you asked about this and I never really answered this, more about that prestige system real fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, you unlock abilities that are variations on your abilities that you already have that are for PvP. So basically your bar is going to be pretty much the same, but your abilities are going to be pretty much similar. So if you play a Death Knight or whatever, like your Obliterate or whatever is going to do the same thing, but it's going to like absorb healing on a target or something like that, like
Okay.
something like that. And that's just an example. I don't think that's the exact thing or something but stuff like that. So once you get to level 50, you've unlocked all these new abilities and stuff. You're basically at the peak. Like no one is more powerful than you. You've unlocked everything.
Okay.
And so then at that point, you can choose to just stay that way and be the best player you possibly can be, or you can choose to prestige, go back to level 1.
Yeah.
And if you choose to prestige and go back to level 1, you'll get a variety of things, but it will not really be an advantage on PvP, an advantage, which I kind of like. It's just, but there's still incentives.
Right.
So basically, like up on your name, like on your character portrait, up in the upper left-hand corner or wherever it is on your screen, there's like there'll be like a sword and a shield, or like 2 swords and a shield, and stuff like that, depending on like what your rank is, what your prestige rank is.
Yeah.
Like Call of Duty, like pretty much exactly the same.
I know WoW Krendor made the tweet, Call of Duty Modern Warcraft.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I
watched that video. Yeah, I watched that video when he mentioned that. That was pretty funny. Because it is exactly like that. Like whatever you're playing Call of Duty, whatever the higher rank you are, you unlock weapons. On World of Warcraft, it's abilities, and then you get to max level, you prestige, your icon changes, and you get in World of Warcraft, you're going to get skins for your weapon, your artifact weapon. Some of these skins are going to come from prestiging. And in Call of Duty, when you prestige, you get skins for your guns or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So it's really, really similar. Like it's exactly the same.
I actually didn't even know the point of prestiging in Call of Duty. I was like, why would you reset yourself? Now everything starts to make sense. Okay.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm gonna be the type of player that's gonna prestige myself, try to get to max rank and get the skins.
Maybe I'll even try. Maybe.
Yeah, I think they were saying like the more the darker skins, like the like whatever the Shadow Ashbringer stuff like that is going to be
Yeah.
from
Okay.
PvP.
Gotcha. All right.
I think that's definitely an improvement. I think that's pretty cool, and I like how it gives you incentives, but it's not required. You know, you can do it if you want. It's there, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. You know.
You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind.
Yeah.
I see.
Right. Right. But yeah, so I think that's definitely a step up, and it definitely needed to be changed because, like I said, you know, they hadn't touched the PvP system since Burning Crusade, which
Right.
definitely needed a touch up.
Oh, I think that's kind of it as far as the bullet points. Because yeah, there's improved transmogrification, which is probably just like what you were talking about with the improving the sword thing, and I'm sure there's some other stuff along that line. Improved social features. Did they even
I was looking at
talk
that.
about that?
I don't think they
Probably
did
not.
really, but I really like in MMOs just the aspect of the social stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of like me and you are doing right now, you know, just we're two players, you know, just talking about the game, you know, whatever.
Exactly.
But just improve social features, you know, hopefully that's just going to let you get in touch with other players because, especially in World of Warcraft, it feels like that aspect has kind of declined a little bit.
Right. Dude, you won't believe this. We're an hour and 20 minutes into this one.
Oh my god, yeah, wow.
So, damn.
Yeah.
So that last bullet point and more.
I want to add one more thing because
Oh, yep.
Lyria and Terralion,
I don't even remember who they're supposed to be.
like do you remember that tip that comes up on the loading screen?
Yeah, like no one knows
like-
what happened to these guys.
Yeah, like I don't really know the lore behind them, but like I think that's kind of a big deal. Like, so if you want to talk about that in the comments, like tell us who they are. I think
I know.
I think Illyria is Sylvanas' sister, I want to say. And Terralion is one of the lead paladins. I think he's more powerful than Tyrion.
Oh, wow.
So, but apparently they were lost on some world, and apparently this is it. So we're getting to see them.
Hey, wait. That doesn't make any sense. Isn't this supposed to be part of Azeroth?
Dude, I don't know. Like I can't keep up with this stuff. Like,
I know. If this is part of Azeroth, it's like, hey, they've been here this entire time. They just felt like being too lazy to take a boat back or something.
yeah, like I guess, yeah, I don't know why we've never been here before. I guess, like, and I mean, a lot of people speculate about like the Lost Isles expansion or something, where just like the other side of Azeroth, because apparently there is another, like the other side of Azeroth. There's stuff there. We just haven't seen it yet.
I call complete BS on that because you can walk right into Ulduar and look at the globe.
Yeah,
and there's not really a whole lot left for.
I mean, in like even the globes. Like I don't know if you've been in Ironforge. There's like the museum or whatever. There's like globes and stuff in there too.
Yeah.
There's just nothing there. But apparently at BlizzCon they pretty much said there's stuff on the other side of Azeroth, but any ships that have gone there have never returned. Is basically what they said.
What about Zeppelins?
Yeah, I mean just go in Zeppelins. Like we have the technology.
Yep. Or just send a druid flying there.
Yeah, he'll get fatigued.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's GM Island. That's where the Legion actually comes from. Is GM Island.
Yeah, basically all the lore ends up at GM Island.
Yep, it's true. True
It all
facts.
traces-
You heard it here first, folks.
It all traces back to one place.
That's why they don't want you going there.
Exactly.
That's where Sargeras is. He's hiding out in GM Island. Like you just show up, he's like drinking tea.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, yeah, 5 expansions from now, bud, and he just sends you back.
Yeah. GM Island.
Yep. GM Island, more like. Okay, I had no idea where I was going to go with that.
Yeah, me either.
I was going to be like Sargeras M Island. It's like, oh, boo. But I think I am done talking about.
But maybe GM Island isn't there anymore. Maybe it was just relocated.
It's true.
Yeah.
Maybe it's GM, a whole new world.
Yeah. So I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about regarding the expansion? I mean, I think it looks great so far.
I think if there's anything else I'm going to talk about, I'm going to look up some things, some more details, and we might do part 3. Not today, but
No, I'm getting ready for bed here in a minute.
oh yeah, same here.
But yeah, I like are you excited about it? Like I know you're not subscribed anymore, but
It's here's my here's the thoughts I kind of portrayed in my video, kind of in a nutshell. Blizz lost my trust with how they treated Warlords of Draenor.
mm,
Regardless of their intentions, I don't know what their intentions were, but they lost my trust for the first time. And it's kind of like a friend who, let's say you have a best friend, you've been hanging out for years, whatever, but then like they steal something from you,
ah,
and you try your best to forgive them, but you know what they've done, and it's like I don't want to be. You just start thinking about that every time. And then I see something like the Ashbringer and, you becoming the hero. I don't want to be the hero. Like, this isn't a single player. I'm afraid they're just going to turn it more into a single player experience versus a multi, the multiplayer experience.
I think that's I hopefully don't do that because it's an MMO, it needs to be more social.
Yeah. And I can kind of understand because I'm willing to bet they've done their research. They see that more and more people are just kind of playing by themselves, so they probably want to keep those people engaged as much as possible. But at the end of the day, like, I just feel like you're losing track of your roots, and the roots it's a massive game, massive multiplayer. And that's really it. I mean, I get into it a lot more in my talk. I don't really want. It's a whole rant. They could take up easily another half an hour.
And I think the analogy you gave with like the friend and the trust thing and all that, I think that really like just kind of displays what it is. Like I think that's a really good analogy that describes the situation. But I think I really hope with this expansion, but I can't say for sure, but I really think that it's going to go towards what the game used to be like. But you just really can't be sure. It could be Warlords 2.0.
Yep.
It really could happen. I really hope it doesn't, but it easily could. And I think as we start to see more features come out, more stuff like that, we play the beta eventually. I guess it's going to come out this year. Whether or not I'll be able to play, I don't know. But I think it'll be more clear, down the road because Warlords of Draenor looked really awesome when I first saw it.
Yeah, I mean, I was more hyped for that than any other, like, I was more hyped for that than Cataclysm, than Pandaria.
Yeah, me too. And I think part of the reason for that is that I was going to, like, I talked about this in the video I made, actually, about this, but basically, like, I kind of thought of it as, like, being, like, Burning Crusade was just, like, one of my favorite expansions.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it so much, and I thought it was just going to be reminiscent of that, And it was that was kind of a foolish thing for me to think because, the game has changed so much since then, it's just it's never going to go back to that. Those days are over.
Yeah, well, basically, it's hard to let go of nostalgia.
It is, yeah.
It's very hard.
And some of that I wasn't even around. Like I was playing the game during that time, but I wasn't even around for a lot of that stuff because I was like really young and I didn't really know basically what I was doing in the game. So I was playing it around that time, but I just never really got into it. And so I don't really reminisce about it. I'm just bitter that I never got to experience it. Never got to experience it in the first place.
That's how I feel. I'm like, I joined like in Wrath. Everyone talks about BC being so great and Vanilla being so great. It's like,
I play during those times, but just the best content. Like I just wish I could have been there. It would have been so cool.
Trying to grasp onto memories I've never had.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. But yeah, hopefully this new expansion, I think it's going to be a step in the right direction, or at least I hope it is.
I'm hopeful. I will give Blizz that. I am hopeful.
I don't think it's going to be worse than Warlords. I mean, I just don't see how that could be. I really like this new continent, the Broken Isles. It looks like the zones look really diverse and stuff like that. It does look a lot like Draenor though, like the outline of it and stuff like that maybe.
Yep.
But I think I like the lore that's going along with it. There's a lot of stories that are getting wrapped up, not necessarily wrapped up, but are getting continued. A lot of old lore characters that are coming back in, like Illidan. Like I mean that's huge. So I'd really like to see where it goes, and I'm looking forward to it right now. Hopefully they get it done this time. They deliver on this one because I think it has a ton of potential already. I really hope they do it right this time.
Yeah, man, we will see, especially as more information is released, and then once we start seeing people get into the betas, like you said, we're gonna see bits. I'm not gonna delve into the beta too much, but
no,
I'll definitely follow the info as they release it. But yeah, definitely for next time, if we want to get into more details about Legion, because I'm sure people want to tune in here as much as they possibly can, we'll try to find out for you guys what we can of the little bits of table scraps that we have to do with. I'm sure there's plenty of good theory crafts that we can bum off of and obviously give credit to, but not today. We just use the Legion website for all of our information, which there is very limited of. So
yeah, at least for right now.
Yeah. I mean, I know I want to thank everyone who's tuned in this far. You're all champs. Gentlemen and scholars and ladies all alike. And that's pretty much it for me. I'm surprised I'm still awake.
Yeah, me too. I'm just about to like fall asleep right now.
Yep. Did you want to say your farewells before I?
Yeah, real fast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. We rambled on quite a bit. But if you've made it to the end, thanks so much for watching. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. And maybe make a part 3. What do you think? I'm down for that if you want.
If we can draw some interesting content.
Yeah, I mean, I think we pretty much covered everything for the new expansion. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully they deliver on this one. Let me know what you guys think about the new expansion in the comments and what you hope to see in it.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it.
Have a good night, everyone.